Hello again and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is BGFH and today I am back for a quick tech tip video. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I figured now is a pretty appropriate time because if you are visually impaired, if you are especially a VoiceOver user, you may be baffled at a problem that has stumped me for a few weeks. Luckily, yesterday I finally figured it out, and I posted a couple of tweets earlier this afternoon regarding this, but I am going to show you guys how to, in fact, enable night mode / dark mode on the official Twitter app for iOS. Because what should be a seemingly self-explanatory, easy process apparently isn't. And it actually is, except for one thing. Like I said, they announced it maybe like a month ago, and I was pretty excited about it. I grabbed a couple of updates, and I still, no matter what, could not get Twitter to update, or I couldn't get it to, like, I don't see a night mode, I don't see a dark mode, I don't see anything. Turns out the problem is VoiceOver. So I'm going to just go into... Now, I am running iOS 10, and unfortunately, I can't do audio destination right now with Reflector, so I just turned my phone way up. It's still probably going to be fairly quiet, so you kind of just have to... I have my phone right up next to the microphone, but hopefully in the next Reflector update, maybe we'll be able to get that functionality back. I would assume we would. Or maybe it's a VoiceOver thing, who knows. Anyway, I'm just going to open up Twitter on my phone to show you, and I have VoiceOver running. So I have a social folder, and I'm going to open Twitter. Come on. There we go. Voila. We have Twitter. However, we have Twitter with a white background, black text, as we normally would. So here's the thing. I'm going to go to the Me tab in the bottom right corner, and I am going to, in the upper middle, just below the kind of the dark, kind of the bluish bar up there, there's a settings button. It's a little gear. I'm going to double tap this. Now, a menu comes up. And in the top one you have Settings. I flick to the right, it says View Lists, Drafts, Help, Sign Out, Cancel. I'll go to Settings. Now all this stuff up here doesn't matter, but where I think it would be, Display and Sound. Nope, not there. It's not under Accessibility. Nowhere to be found. However, I am going to now go to my home screen. I'm going to close my Twitter app for good, or close it basically. I turn VoiceOver off. Now let's open the Twitter app again, shall we? And watch what happens. Boom. Let there be night mode. So here's the thing. If I were to start VoiceOver now, watch what happens. Now, I'm sorry this is really quiet. I don't even know why my phone isn't really that loud. I think VoiceOver volume actually seems to be lower than my phone volume. But basically, we get a dialog box now because first, remember, this doesn't even show up on the screen. Oh, there it goes. Wow, that is really laggy. Holy crap. I don't know why that took so long to show up. Now, we have a dialog box here in the middle of our screen that says something to the effect of, for the optimal experience of using VoiceOver, we recommend basically closing Twitter, make sure VoiceOver is on before you start Twitter, and then start it again, which is what I did the first time. However, when you do that, basically what Twitter is saying is that when you launch the app, it decides, or it kind of looks to see if VoiceOver is running in the background. If it is, it seems to automatically change some settings to some sort of presets that they find works well with VoiceOver. And presumably they didn't take into account the want/need or capability for the dark/night mode in this. So, and they probably thought, well, that's not really a big deal. If you're blind, if you're using VoiceOver, you probably don't care, because you're listening. But actually, I would encourage Twitter to actually really fix this because, you have people such as myself who are low vision but rely on VoiceOver. So we still like to be able to kind of see things, but we like to have things, not quite so harsh, especially in a low lit room. Same thing is, let's say you have very little usable vision. Maybe you have light perception and you use VoiceOver. But like I said, having this just bright white background, if you're light sensitive, can be a problem. So that's another instance where, even though you're using VoiceOver, where it would still be nice to be allowed to have that option. Now I'm going to go to so I am on my Me tab. And now if I go to Settings, because I started the Twitter app first, and then once it was up, I started VoiceOver. If we were still looking at a white background because it was the first time we wanted to change this, now see this menu that pops up. I have Settings. If I flick to the right, well, in this case it's on because so it says turn it off. But now I mysteriously have this turn on and off night mode option right below the settings option and right above view lists. So you can turn it on accessibly if you need VoiceOver to do so. The trick is that you have to use, you have to open the app before you start VoiceOver. Now, again, if you are very low vision and really still kind of need help getting into the app, maybe you can't quite, you have light perception, but maybe you need to be able to open it, you can always use Siri to start the Twitter app, and then once you're in, turn VoiceOver on. And when you go to your Me tab on the bottom, go to Settings, you will see this option here. So now that I've done this, I can cancel, and I can float around here. I can go to my main feed. This is just, I don't know, somewhere in my feed. So yeah, now everything, it's not totally black. But it's a nice dark color. It's white. Again, I'm very, very sad that the kind of sometimes rumored dark mode didn't come to iOS 10 universally, but I'm finding myself using Twitter on my phone more and more. I mean, I primarily use Socializer when I'm on the computer, but when I'm not, I still use Twitter quite a bit, and I like to check it on my phone. And so this is a nice way to have dark mode. I like it just natively using the Twitter app. I know there are other apps that also support the dark and night mode, but I wanted to show you, if any of you are trying to use the mobile Twitter client, the mobile Twitter app for iOS, you can do it. It's just a little bit screwy right now. So basically, summary, turn VoiceOver off, open Twitter, then turn VoiceOver on. You'll get a warning that says, hey, you should probably restart VoiceOver, or close the app, turn VoiceOver on, and then go into the app. Just ignore that error message. Use it anyway. It still seems to work pretty much fine. I mean, maybe there's some advanced controls that don't read well or something, but basically, as long as you just hit OK on that dialog box, you go down to the bottom right, go to your Me tab, and then go up to the top to where your settings gear icon is. Double tap on that, and then you have your menu that pops up. You should see the mysterious night mode option in that menu. Like I said, it was driving me absolutely nuts because I heard about it, and then I heard it was officially out, and I saw so many people tweeting about it. I saw articles about it. I did Google searches just to make sure I was understanding the process first, because at first I thought, oh, I got to go into settings and then I got to go into sound and visual or whatever. Wasn't there. I thought it might be an accessibility thing. Wasn't there. And I tried everything. I was like, what in the heck? I even waited for a couple of Twitter updates because it updates fairly quickly or fairly often. Nothing happened. And I just kind of gave up on it. I was going to, either email Twitter or wait till I got my new phone and see what that did. And just out of the blue, I don't know what made me think of it, but I'm like, I wonder. Actually, I think I had opened the app and then I turned Twitter on. I think I got that message that said turn Twitter off and then start VoiceOver and open it again. I'm like, wait a minute. I wonder. So I made sure that I did that. I turned VoiceOver off and I went in, checked the settings, right there. I'm like, oh my God. The amount of time I actually spent trying to figure out how to get that to work was kind of embarrassing. But yes, VoiceOver was in fact the problem in this case, but it is easy to fix. Now, to wrap up, I will say there are some caveats to it, like sometimes if you leave the app and let's say you don't go into it for a while and the app actually has to reload, it doesn't have the thing cached and you see the little Twitter bird again, the little Twitter icon, it will notice, it kind of treats that as opening it for the first time. So it will if you have VoiceOver running, it will revert back to its light ways. If you lock the screen, I think that also sometimes happens. So just like I said, if you ever have trouble and you want that back, just close it, turn VoiceOver off, open it, turn VoiceOver on, and you're good to go. So hopefully that helped some of you low vision users. I know when I posted it earlier this afternoon, just my text description, I had one or two people go, oh, God, that's been bugging the hell out of me too. So, yeah, hopefully this helps you guys, and stay tuned for more iOS 10, iPhone 7 stuff in the near future. Hopefully Reflector and VoiceOver behave again so I can change my audio destination, because that makes it much, much easier for you guys to hear what VoiceOver is talking about. But we're going to wrap up the video here, and yeah, follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, and until next time, talk to you guys again later.